A relatively unknown village in Nyanoa in Upper West Akyem district of the Eastern region took all the shine of the day. This is what the government's policy of spreading education infrastructure across the country seeks to achieve. Modern and well-resourced schools are placed in deprived areas.
President John Mahama performed the groundbreaking ceremony to mark the beginning of the construction of 200 community-day senior high schools. A first batch of 50 schools will be constructed this year, while the rest will be completed over the next 3 years. Napoleon Atukito reports.
The 200 Community Day Senior High Schools was a campaign pledged by President John Mahama. It sprang into the arena of the electioneering campaign of 2012, at the time education took the center stage of the debate. Statistics indicate that there is a 40% backlog of junior high school graduates who cannot access the next stage of education, not because they are unqualified, but because of the lack of infrastructure to accommodate them. This then became the premise of the argument by the ruling NDC that education cannot be made free at the senior high level when many of the students targeted by such a policy cannot access it in the first place. President John Mahama pledged to fill that yawning gap with 200 community day senior high schools. They are to be located in new and old districts which do not have schools, as well as deprived places such as Nyanoa in the Upper West Akyem district, where he performed the groundbreaking ceremony. Existing schools will also be resourced under a World Bank facility code-named Secondary Education Improvement Program. As recommended by the 1992 Constitution, the government will roll out free SHS progressively from next year. Day students will not pay school fees in 2015, while a good number of the items on the charge sheet of boarding schools will be removed. That sounded pleasant to the ears of the people.
Most students pass the BEC with good grace. But because of distance and poverty level of the people in this area, they cannot continue the secondary school education. And we also have one secondary or senior high school at Ades. And this one has come to solve and help children have access to basic secondary education.
All other speakers who heralded the president's speech attested to the fact that it was wiser to give equal attention to quality and affordability in educational delivery. They included the chief of Nyanoa, Nana, the outgoing Eastern Regional Minister, Madam Helen Intoso, and the Educational Minister, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajimai. President Mahama said there will be budgetary allocation for Phase 1 of progressive free SHS education by 2015.
My administration will continue to work hard in our nation's interest to ensure that no child and no district is left behind in our drive to provide modern quality education across our nation. The construction we are starting here today should be completed within the next 18 months. While constructing the new schools, we are also going to continue our program of expanding the capacity of existing secondary schools.
The local beneficiaries were glad and were of the opinion that no property is as valuable as education, because education so acquired is indivisible. Napoleon Atukito reporting.